Madame, good evening.
Mademoiselle?
To be sure, mademoiselle. Mademoiselle, this is what I was about to say. Friendship is the greatest of all human needs.
Sir, if you have forgotten that there are policemen in Paris to protect girls like me against the immodest advances of...
Oh, please, the friendship I mention is of a different nature. Spiritual. Something we all long for. In other words, dear lady, man's greatest friend is a good book.
Book?
Yes, a book. Now, I have here a beautifully bound volume, Life in Society. It contains all the rules of etiquette, how to entertain visiting nobility, a book that you, as the mistress of this household...
I am not the mistress of this household or any other household. Furthermore, we have all the books we want in this house.
Ah, but no home is complete without an attractive collection of jokes and puns, with a magic recipe for changing a white rose into a red rose.
Jokes, puns, indeed. Red rose, white rose. Away, get away from here. Books. Books. Hannibal? Hannibal! Don't you know it's raining?
Yes, it's raining cats and dogs.
You again. Give me that cat. Wait. I tell your master.
Please, mademoiselle. Would you tell that beautiful cat's master that I am here with the key of dreams? Dreams of gold. Dreams of falling from the top of a tower.
If you don't leave here instantly...
I'm leaving. I've already left. Although it is a trifle wet outside.
Very well. I'll give you 5 minutes to dry yourself by the stove.
Oh, you're too kind. And don't forget, I have here Crimes in the Catacombs. Thrilling, chilling tales of...
Monsieur Bernard, did I hear you cough?
No, my good Therese. I laughed.
A lot there is to laugh about in that book. Why, it isn't even in the Christian language.
Well, it's in Latin.
Pagans.
Oh, there's a bit of pagan in all this. Even in you, Therese. Now that it's April, and you meet the glances of young blades on the street.
You won't think spring is so wonderful. You catch a death of cold. A member of the French Academy who hasn't sense enough to wear his shawl.
You know you gave my shawl to Hannibal for a bed.
I thought the Academy was the brains of France. I thought it had only the greatest scientists, the finest scholars, and the sweetest writers. Well, it has some of the biggest fools, too, say I.
Therese, don't judge a mighty institution by your master.
What would happen to you if I wasn't here to look after all your needs?
That's true. You look after all my needs.
Well, goodness knows I work hard enough, washing, sewing, keeping this place neat.
Be more gentle with those books, Therese. Some poor monks spent long, weary months copying them.
Besides, a good book is a man's best friend.
You still here?
Books offer a spiritual friendship, which all human beings long for, not excluding certain other members of the...
Now listen to me, you maggot of a bookworm.
Therese. This gentleman is talking very good sense, whoever he is.
My name is Coco, sir. Coco with an O. I also have a first name, Aristide, and a second, Théophile, but nobody calls me anything but Coco.
Sit down, Monsieur Coco.
No! I will not have you buying any more books. He's already spent a fortune on this library. All this waste paper you see around here is worth thousands and thousands. And not one good cookbook among them. Not one cuckoo.
Coco.
Cuckoo! Now resign.
Again, Therese? Ah, but you won't resign. You will devote your exceptional talents to a superb souffle out in the kitchen.
I will not. I resign. Besides, we had a souffle yesterday. Tonight, I'm roasting a duck, and that's what you'll eat.
Temperamental, like all artists. Do please sit down.
Thank you.
By the way, my name is Sylvester Bonnard.
Also a good name. I am in luck to find such a connoisseur, such a lover of good books.
Only old books, I'm afraid.
Old or new, I have them. Books on hog breeding, hypnotism.
Before you proceed, you see, I'm an old fool, and I have my peculiarities. What if I told you that for the last 30 years I've searched for but one single book?
I probably have it right here.
Well, now, that's encouraging. Although there's only one copy of it in the world. The title of it is The Golden Legend.
By a coincidence, I don't have that particular item.
Oh, that's unlucky for both of us. Because I happen to be writing a history of Christian Gaul. Carelessly enough, I made it my life work.
You couldn't turn to something else, of course.
Well, hardly. At the university where I teach, they expect me to continue with it. I'm sure what's the matter?
Such a calamity. Such a misfortune.
You seem ill. Perhaps you've caught cold. A little brandy will do you a world of good.
You see, I've been walking the streets for days, for weeks. I've been turned away from every door.
I gather you haven't sold many books.
None. And my wife is about to give birth any hour now. And we haven't a sou for food, for firewood, for rent. I'm a failure.
You know, Coco, the trouble with me is I don't do enough light reading. Have you a few good love stories?
I could show you some.
No. I don't want to see them. I mean, why not leave your collection at a reasonable price?
My collection? You want to buy it?
Yes.
Oh, heavenly saints,
Here, my good man!
Books. Cuckoos.
6. Madame Coco has promised me 6 boys. Isn't she magnanimous about it all?
Generous to a fault. Shall we drink to Madame and to the air? What will you call him?
Monsieur, with your permission, to honor our benefactor, Sylvester.
Ah.
But perhaps one of your own already bears the name.
No. I have no children. I'm all alone. To Sylvester Coco, then, who is awaited with so much love. May he, in turn, have children of his own. My friend, if that boy should turn out to be a girl?
No. Our decision is final.
Oh. Still, such things do happen. A beautiful name would be Clementine. Now, why should I have thought of that? Perhaps all this talk of children, it does remind one of his own youth.
Clementine. No, there'll be no need for it.
Come, Hannibal. The dinner's ready. Some people eat their meals on time.
We must part, my friend. Therese, please show Monsieur Coco where to put the books I bought.
I regret I cannot do that. I'm no longer in your service.
She'll change her mind. Now, be sure to leave your address with her. I may need more books, and you may need a basket of food and some firearms.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh. Clementine. pack my things. I'm leaving town.
You're leaving no town in this rain.
Yes. On the next train, I have to, Therese. I'm trying to find something.
Are you chasing that fool book again?
Perhaps I'm chasing yesterday. Yes, Clementine and I were born in this town. Spent our childhood here. And when we grew older, this house was our trysting place. We used to meet there in the library.
You know, hardly anyone visits it nowadays. I keep it open as a sort of memorial to my father.
Oh, he was a great scholar.
My husband tried to have the books catalogued, but since his death, I seem to have lost interest.
Madame Capri, you shouldn't admit so readily that you're a widow. It's dangerous.
Oh, monsieur. No wonder your Clementine let you turn her head.
On the contrary, she turned mine, and then married someone else.
And she still lives here in Lausanne?
She still does. Tomorrow, I intend to visit her grave.
Oh.
What's your name, my child?
Madeleine Duval, monsieur.
Of course. I remember your mother. She also had pretty ankles.
Thank you, monsieur.
A little rum?
Well, just a drop. I must keep a clear head for my work.
You surely don't intend to begin immediately after lunch.
Don't you think it's time this bit of paper found its way back to the Golden Legend? The book is undoubtedly still in the library.
I hope so, for your sake. The end of a long search. You must be very happy.
Happy? Yes. Still, when I think of what vandals we were, that young Clementine and I, sending love notes to each other on old parchment. Oh, what superb rum. Perhaps too superb, but I must go. This is a great moment for me, made still more memorable by your charming company.
Thank you.
Madam, can it be that your kind is still seen? In this age of railroads and telegraphs?
What do you think about it?
I really don't know what to think. My head is a little heavy from some excellent Burgundy and rum. Frankly, I had an idea you fairies do not exist.
It is you who do not exist, Sylvester Bernard. People dream of me. Therefore I exist. But who, tell me, who ever dreams of you?
Nobody. Nobody.
I am love. Who loves you?
Nobody.
Not your dead books, certainly. And how much love you've wasted on them. Love that you should have given to a wife, to your children. What have you had out of life? Your fame, your cat, that ribbon of the Legion of Honor in your buttonhole?
True. Not enough.
In this room you used to meet Clementine. Where is Clementine now?
Her father.
She loved you. She would have gone away with you. These manuscripts, tomes, folios. Why did you exchange them for life itself?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know. Oh, Sylvester Bernard. Don't you want to come alive ever and find all that you've missed?
It's too late. I'm an old man. Madam, it's too late.
Sylvester Bernard, you are a fool. It is never too late. Look out for your nose, Sylvester. How mean you are. Why should you laugh at her?
I wasn't laughing at her. I laughed at an old fool who should be allowed to drink nothing stronger than buttermilk.
Please give her to me.
Gladly. But is she yours?
Of course she is. I made her.
Looking at you, my dear, I should have imagined that it was the fairies who made you. However, this little handiwork of yours is perfect.
Oh, no, far from perfect. I can never get the arms right. Here, do you see? An artist wouldn't do this. Could you hold out your arm for a second? No, curve it. A soft, graceful line. That's better. Now, please turn your head. Hold it. Why, the trouble isn't with the arms at all. It's the legs. Please balance yourself on one foot.
On one foot? I don't think I could. My gout might object. Perhaps I could pose for something else.
I make bookends, too.
You're quite talented, aren't you?
No. But perhaps someday.
You come here often.
This is the only place where I can work. And Madame Gabri is very kind about letting me come. I always sit by this window.
Why this particular window?
It's my favorite place.
That's funny. It's mine, too.
Are you going to work here?
Yes.
Can you keep secrets? You won't tell anybody what I do here, not a soul? Because I'm not allowed. It would be terrible if they found out.
Who?
I'll leave it here, but don't you play with it.
What's your name, my little artist?
Jean. My mother.
I know. You look like her.
You knew her?
We grew up together.
Will you share my lunch? She sang, didn't she?
Beautifully.
I wish I were allowed to study singing.
Your father doesn't like music?
My father's did. Monsieur Mouche is my guardian.
Oh,
He was the family lawyer.
and so your guardian won't let you see me.
Monsieur Mouche won't let me do anything. Monsieur Mouche is a monster. He keeps me in Mademoiselle Prefer's school. And Mademoiselle is the meanest teacher in the world, and I hate her. I hate all those stupid girls, too.
Are they all stupid?
Oh, no. Not the little ones. They're sweet. But the big girls, they know that I'm a charity pupil.
I see.
Now you know why I go to the library. And why you mustn't tell a soul.
Oh, absolutely.
Would you keep another secret?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in love.
Your first love, mademoiselle?
First and only. He has freckles. I'd like to let him kiss me, but then he'd never marry me.
Don't let him kiss you. Men are fickle. Forgive me. But do you by any chance meet in the library?
Oh, no. Books bore him.
Oh?
He says there's nothing to reading. We meet in church, and we correspond in verse.
Uh-huh.
It's a poem I've written. I didn't know you'd read it, Monsieur Mouche.
And why shouldn't I read it? Am I your guardian, or am I not? Have I the right to see how you spend your time, or have I not? Love poems. Is this what you do, instead of your schoolwork?
That is my schoolwork. You see, before we left for our vacation, Mademoiselle Prefer told us to bring back a poem. Something with feeling and emotion.
And this is it? Very well. I'll give you a chance to present your masterpiece to Mademoiselle Prefer tomorrow morning.
Oh, but our Easter vacation won't be over till next week.
For you, it's over today. Go upstairs and pack your things. You're leaving. Upstairs, I said. My ward, monsieur. And what business have you with my ward?
I've no business with her. I'm merely interested in the child. Her mother was a friend of mine.
I dare say her mother had lots of friends. Besides, the child has been sent back to school for a heinous breach of propriety.
Then she's not here.
She's not. Discipline, monsieur. Discipline. I caught her composing poems.
Did you consider that so very serious?
I'm not inclined to discuss the seriousness of the matter with you. And unless you have further business...
Further business? Why, yes. I'm glad you reminded me. To be sure, I need the services of a good lawyer.
You are in the presence of a good lawyer.
Oh, that's excellent.
Please honor me. Now, was it something relating to a birth certificate? Or a good will properly drawn up, signed, witness, stamped? Looking at you, I can immediately guess it is a will.
Well, that too. But that can wait. For the moment, I'll merely give you a retainer against future service.
Yes, a retainer. That is customary.
By the way, possibly you could think of some way for me to visit Jean after all.
Well, yes, perhaps I could. A formal permission addressed to Mademoiselle Prefer, properly drawn up.
Witnessed, stamped, for a fee, naturally.
Oh, a modest fee. Hair, gray.
Oh. Good morning. I wonder if you would be good enough to announce me to Mademoiselle Prefer.
Monsieur, we do not touch the pictures on the wall.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was quite unintentional.
You're here to see me? I am Mademoiselle Prefer.
Perhaps this letter from Monsieur Mouche.
Ah, Monsieur Mouche. Such a pleasant, kind creature. Why, simply astounded. Monsieur Mouche knows perfectly well my views on male visitors. Except qualified fathers, of course.
I've come a long way to see the child.
Feel for you. But even if I were inclined to break the rules, Mademoiselle Alexandra simply doesn't deserve special privileges. She's been most difficult lately.
Difficult?
What would you call her if suddenly you were I? And you were going upstairs and out of nowhere came that impossible child sliding down the banisters head first.
Head first? I should call that very difficult.
And immodest and unladylike and destructive of school property. There you have 3 perfectly good reasons why I cannot grant your request.
A childish prank, nothing more.
Monsieur, if you understood educational methods as I do, you would know that out of childish pranks come some of the most criminal of crimes. Before you go, may we have your name for our visitors' register?
Sylvester Bonnard.
Occupation or profession?
My goodness, mademoiselle. I don't know. Archaeologist, lecturer. Perhaps you might put down member of the Institute.
Member of... Monsieur?
The Institute? Oh, but you should have told me. Member of the Institute. Now a light dawns on me. Now I understand your interest in the education of your dear child.
Not mine, mademoiselle. I'm not her qualified father, you know.
You're more than that. Her intellectual father. You and your colleagues of the Institute, the spiritual mentors of all of us. I do hope you understand my concern about Jean. The child has just a touch too much exuberance, but that indicates merely a happy disposition, doesn't it?
My dear lady, I really must go now.
Go? Without seeing Jean? I insist. We shall find her in the classroom, teaching the alphabet to the younger children. Jean is so brave about working her way through school. You will observe how ably she applies my teaching methods. Such diligence, such dignity.
We will now go through the alphabet once more. Paulette, begin.
A. A stands for antelope.
Roxanne.
B. B stands for bear.
Celeste.
C. C stands for cat. Meow.
Marie.
Bow, wow, 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 wow.
We pride ourselves on the fact that from early childhood... We pride ourselves on the fact that from early childhood we cultivate in our pupils poise, the air of cultured French young ladies.
That's enough, Suzette. We know you're alive.
Please, if you would wait. Silence. Explain. Instantly. I'm waiting.
I was only trying out something new I invented. It really gets results.
Results? Do you know what you've done? You've disgraced me. Shamed me in front of a member of the Institute. You've made me the laughingstock of the entire French Academy. Go. Go to him. I can't. Ever again.
Monsieur Bernard.
Little Jean. Look at me. Was there the devil to pay? So, now stop crying. What were you doing in there?
Teaching the alphabet in a new way. My own way.
And Mademoiselle objected. Oh, well, Jean, the greatest inventors have always met with suppression and ignorance.
But she will punish me. I'm broken-hearted and I'm miserable. And this candy's delicious. She's cruel and I hate her. She says I shamed her in front of the entire Institute.
Oh. Well, you just tell her that the Institute is full of respect and admiration for her.
Could I really? That would help. It was sweet of you to come. I've thought about you often. Did you ever find that old book you were looking for?
No. It was missing from the library. Not a trace of it. Perhaps mislaid, perhaps stolen. Still, I found something else in that library.
Thank you for the candy. You're so good. Nobody ever brought me candy.
Well, I had an idea you wouldn't object. When I was little, that's what my father used to bring me.
But you're not my father.
You're wrong, Jean. I'm everybody's father. Ask Mademoiselle Préfère. Everybody's intellectual father.
But honestly, I didn't want to take it. I told him candy was against the rules.
Against the rules of health and of the school.
That's exactly what I said. Monsieur, I reminded him, the growing body of a young woman of a tender age requires lots of green vegetables, fresh milk, and meat. But never candy. That was right, wasn't it?
But you were eating it. I caught you with it.
Yes. That must have surprised you. But there's a reason. Because when I told that to Monsieur Bernard, why, he laughed and laughed, and then he said, why, nobody as sweet and as kind as Mademoiselle Préfère would possibly take away a poor little girl's chocolates.
He said that? Sweet and kind?
Oh, yes. And he also said how much he respected and admired you.
Jean.
Especially your hair.
I don't believe a word of it, not a single word of it. Jean, what else did he say?
That you had lovely eyes. Brown. I mean blue.
Jean, dear, look at me. Look at your teacher. Jean, dear, if you are not telling me the truth, I'll thrash you as you've never been thrashed in your life.
But it is the truth. And he also said that yours is the finest school in France. And that the Academy is very proud of it. And that when you go to Paris...
Paris? What would I be doing in Paris?
Well, you might be going to Paris someday. It's very near.
Ah, Paris.
If you did go to Paris, would you take me with you? Mademoiselle, would you?
What are you talking about?
We're invited. Monsieur Bernard has invited us for the weekend to see the Seine. the city, the Louvre, Paris in April. And the Institute? My Institute.
Therese, answer the bell. Therese.
Oh, monsieur, how can I thank you? This kindness, this hospitality. How did I ever deserve such an invitation?
How, mademoiselle? I don't know. It just came about. It's always pleasant to have visitors. A little chat for an hour or two.
But a weekend, oh, that was too much.
Too much? Oh, not at all, not at all. As I was saying, an hour or two would be pleasant. But a whole weekend? Oh, paradise, mademoiselle, paradise. Do give me your valise. Let me show you to the guest room. Therese.
I will not be hurried about the luncheon.
Oh, my good Therese, take your time, but set the table for two more.
What?
We have two guests.
Oh, we do we? Well, we don't. You do. I resign.
Therese, there are emergencies when one must count on the support of old friends. How can I take care of them over the weekend?
Weekend? You heavenly saints, and I'm still in this kitchen. Well, I'm not.
Therese.
Therese? You are Therese, aren't you? Oh, Monsieur Bernard has told me so much about you. What good care you take of him, and what a marvelous housekeeper you are.
Oh, mademoiselle.
No, you must call me Jean.
She won't have much time to call you anything. She has just resigned.
When you grow old, my little lady, you'll learn not to listen to rumors. So you've come to visit us. And very wisely, too, because you're just about to eat the best cheese souffle in your young life. So, you're a dainty eater. Thank goodness there are some people who like old Therese's cooking.
Excellent, Therese.
Somehow I seem to have no appetite at all. This tea is so strong. Isn't it funny? The plain tea should make me feel so drowsy.
Why, it's supposed to have just the opposite effect.
Have another cup. It'll wake you up.
Thank you. Tastes very, very good, but it is strong.
Why, mine isn't.
Then it must be that I'm a little tired.
Don't you think you ought to lie down, mademoiselle?
Oh, no. That wouldn't be right.
Oh, please don't stand on ceremony.
Well, if you really don't mind.
Does she get so sleepy after every meal?
Not every meal.
Now, what's going on here? What's so funny? Rum. You put rum in her tea, you devils.
Now we can have the whole afternoon to ourselves. We can go everywhere, see the whole city. Aren't you glad?
I'm very glad, little Jean. It's only that I was thinking, can 15 years be crowded into a single afternoon? Listen to it. It can say Mama. Would you like to have it?
Oh, no, thank you. Not a doll. I don't play with them anymore.
Is that so? Well. Here's a cannon. Yes? No. A nice rubber ball. Let me see. Ah.
I really don't think I need toys. You must be thinking of a little girl.
So I must be. So I must be.
And what do you think of your little daughter now, monsieur?
Lovely. Lovely.
Her first party dress?
My very first.
Doesn't she look grown up in it? Quite a young lady. The years do roll by fast, don't they, monsieur?
Too fast. Too fast.
Why, I had no idea you could dance like this.
And why not? I was a famous dancer in my day. Your mother taught me.
Darling, how pretty you looked on the floor.
Thank you, mademoiselle.
Aren't you proud of your partner, monsieur?
I'm proud of both my partners.
May I have another lemonade? I'm just dying of thirst.
Why, of course. Where's that waiter?
Here just a moment ago.
Such a silly waiter.
He asked whether Jean and I were sisters.
This is the loveliest restaurant I've ever been in. Of course, I've never been in any other.
Such a romantic place.
Another glass of lemonade. Mademoiselle?
Bernard. Good evening. You won't recall me. I'm a student at the university. My name is Henry Shirley.
Oh. And are you in one of my courses, Monsieur Shirley?
No, not exactly. I'm preparing for the law.
Huh.
But when I saw you here, I just couldn't
Mademoiselle Prefer. Permit me. Monsieur Shirley.
How do you do? What I meant to say was, I've always been deeply interested in archaeology.
Oh, so you're interested in archaeology? Well, come over to our table. Perhaps I can help you further your studies. And When you're finished with that volume, you might study this.
Couldn't we start on some smaller manuscript?
Oh, no. I shouldn't like to waste your time with anything less important. You might take this one along, too.
Thank you.
Oh, you mustn't work any longer. Aren't you just terribly tired?
Oh, not I. But perhaps Monsieur Shirley has had enough archaeology for his first afternoon.
He's interested in nothing but archaeology.
I think she wants you to admire her work of art. One of the most amazing things you'll learn in archaeology is that women were impulsive creatures in every age.
Now, this is a shirt that becomes your position.
Oh, that's very good of you. But I fear what Therese will say when she finds it.
Oh, Therese. Man like you concerned about a coarse servant.
Oh, you mustn't call my Therese coarse. And I'm very happy under her management.
No, you're not happy. No, monsieur. I'm a woman. And my instincts never deceive me. You are not happy. You have need of comfort, of care, of every kind of attention. What if you should fall sick? A member of the Institute, ill, alone, forgotten. Oh, it makes me shudder, even to think of it.
Don't shudder. Please don't shudder. First thing we know, you'll be ill.
And the Seine sparkles in the sun. At sunset, the sky is full of clouds.
Oh, I've always wanted to make the trip to Saint Cloud.
We'll take the steamboat. We can stand by the rail.
Mademoiselle would never permit it.
Oh, we'll take her along. Will you be here next weekend?
Yes. Mademoiselle says we're going to come here every weekend. Maybe next Sunday.
Well, did you show your sculpture to our friend? And did he properly admire it? I hope you'll come again, young man.
Oh, I'm going to. Oh, yes.
Well, Jean, this has been a happy weekend, hasn't it? Well, why don't you answer me?
What do you wish me to answer?
Stupid girl. Answer, yes, mademoiselle. It has been very, very happy. Thank you, mademoiselle. Well?
Yes, thank you, mademoiselle. And I'm happy.
Of course you are, my dear child. So am I. With very good reason. I shall embroider a pair of slippers for him. I feel I must. Yes, a pair of slippers.
But you know that's impossible. We're too young.
We aren't. Marie Antoinette was 15 when she got married.
But she lost her head. So is Mademoiselle. And I'm to blame.
I think there will be a moon. I so wanted moonlight.
Why, mademoiselle? If you've lost something, I can light a match.
Oh, no.
No? Oh.
Do you remember that scene from the opera La Mise, where Lily drops her key? He strikes the match, it sputters and goes out. There they sit on the floor and sing.
On the floor? I should imagine that would be very hard on their throats.
Later in the play, they become as one with the flute obbligato.
Oh, youth is wonderful. How I want to relive other days, other ambition.
What ambition? Perhaps they can still be realized.
Oh, no, never. I wanted to be a drum major in a band.
You remember La Musette?
La Musette. Oh, those people who sat on the floor to sing. Wouldn't you call that going to extremes?
Yes, indeed. But what do you expect of actors?
Well, now, let's not be too severe with them. Perhaps it's just a hobby of theirs.
Monsieur Mouche has a hobby. He collects books, just like you.
Now, what gives you the idea that I collect books?
Why, you have lots and lots of them in your attic.
And who gave you permission to be monkeying around my attic?
But surely collecting books is nothing to be ashamed of.
Of course not. It's simply that Jean should not waste her time up in the attic. It's full of dust and bats and spiders. I haven't been up there for so long that I can't even imagine what books the child is talking about.
Oh, well. Yes, Jean. Keep away from books. Look at me. I've been buried among them so long, some people think I'm dead.
Oh, how can you talk of death when I can think of nothing but living. Don't listen to him. He's far from dead. On the contrary, full of life. Gay and affectionate and kind and understanding. If I could only tell you how very, very understanding.
And why shouldn't you tell? It's never indelicate to announce happy tidings. Understanding, eh? Ho, ho. What mischief have you two been up to, eh? I knew something like this would happen. I kept on saying to myself, Mouche, I said, those weekends in Paris are not for nothing. Well, was I wrong, eh?
It's not for me to say. Ask Sylvester.
Mademoiselle, come, Bernard. No bashfulness. Monsieur, permit me to offer my congratulations. For heaven's sake. What a marriage contract I'll draw up for you. What a marriage contract.
Oh. Mademoiselle, what's this all about?
What?
There's a terrible mistake somewhere.
Oh.
A ghastly misunderstanding.
No.
Stop it! Stop it!
It's my fault. I'm to blame. I'm to blame for everything. I lied. All that I said, every word was a lie. Forgive me, mademoiselle. Monsieur Bernard just tried to be nice to me, to protect me. He never said that your hair was pretty. He never praised your eyes. The invitation, I invented that, and everything else.
Oh. You monster! Monster! Oh, please.
I think I'm going to faint.
No. No. Don't faint.
No, I shall not faint. If ever I thought of accepting you, it was because of the Academy. Understand that. Not because of you. With your red nose, and your gout, and your flea-bitten cat, and your coarse servant. As for you, you brat, you scarecrow, in the morning, I'll see you in the morning.
Furthermore, those slippers I was embroidering for you, your feet shall never see them. Never.
And if Mademoiselle wants the floor to shine like a mirror, I'd better get it to shine like a mirror, or I'll catch it again. Not that I'd ever want to go near a mirror if I were Mademoiselle. I suppose I deserve all this, but this is such a big floor to polish. And you kids tear entirely too many stockings. And it's work mending them. And I hate washing dishes, Marie, I really do.
Poor Jean.
No, not poor Jean. Think of all the exercise I'm getting. Still, 3 weeks is a long time not to see Monsieur Bernard, isn't it?
Why has Monsieur Bernard a beard? My daddy has.
I don't know, Marie, but I wish I could look at him again, beard or no beard.
Is he coming soon?
No, dear. He's not allowed to come anymore. After all, it isn't as if I'd known him all my life. It was too nice to be real anyway. One shouldn't expect everything.
My father hasn't a cane like Monsieur Bernard's, but he has a silver watch.
What are fathers like?
Oh, funny.
That must be wonderful.
Tell me, could you get word to Jean that I'm here?
No, I couldn't. Nobody's allowed to see her, especially you.
Oh, Colette, I'd be most grateful to you. Jean.
Dear Bernard.
Oh, Jean. Little Jean.
Don't ever let me go. Don't ever let me go again.
No. Never. Oh, you're thin. What has she been doing to you?
She pinches. But she'll never pinch me again. You won't let her. Tell me you won't.
I? My dear child.
That's why you're here.
I merely came to see you.
Then you're not taking me away?
Goodness gracious.
You're letting me stay here?
Jean. Jean.
I'm never to see you again?
Jean. Put on my coat. Your dress is so thin you'll catch your death of cold.
Oh, dear, this sleeve is way too full for me.
Well, that was silly of me, sending Henry to buy your dress. Never mind. The next one we buy will fit better. If we ever dare to leave this house again. You feel like a prisoner?
With you and Henry coming as often as he does.
But it can't go on this way forever. I jump every time I hear the doorbell ring. I can't help thinking it's that infernal moosh.
What would happen if he came after us? Jail?
Haven't you any more sense than to shout?
I didn't shout. Jail?
No. Yes. Oh, I don't know. Not for you, at any rate. You didn't do anything.
I asked you to steal me.
Nonsense. As if I had any other idea in my mind. Why do you suppose I went after you? Well, what was that good for?
Oh, I just had to kiss you. Because you're so... funny.
Funny?
You wouldn't understand. But suppose Monsieur Mouche did find us. Would you have to give me back?
Give you back? If that moosh dare come near you, mind you, within a mile of you, I'll be mighty cross with him. Do you know what that moosh is? Exactly like his name. A fly. Master Fly. And what do you do with flies when they annoy you? I'll tell you. You swat them. Please, Monsieur Mouche, a cigar.
I do not accept cigars from criminals.
Oh, I beg of you, Monsieur Mouche, don't say that. Please don't say that.
You have committed a crime. You are a criminal. You thought you could escape me, but I tracked you down. And now I have you. Abduction of a minor, kidnapping, unlawful seizure.
Mercy on us, you're mistaken, my friend. A little sightseeing trip, a journey, an excursion.
10 years imprisonment.
You may be right, but according to the ancient law of medieval France...
We are not living in the Middle Ages now.
I'm merely observing that in the decree issued by King Childebert in the year 593...
Hang King Childebert.
And in the capitulary of Charlemagne in 812.
This for Charlemagne. So, you know Childebert. You know the capitularies. But you do not know the Code Napoleon, the law of the land.
I never read anything modern.
Well, you won't have to read it. It will be read to you by the judge when you receive your sentence. I have spoken.
Monsieur, I appeal to your heart. You can help me. Help Jean. You don't want to ruin us. You're the child's guardian. Couldn't you help me prove to the authorities that you gave me permission to...
To abduct her? I help you to prove that?
Yes, you! You're a lawyer. A piece of paper. It needn't even be a large piece. Properly stamped, witnessed, for a modest fee.
A modest fee? Is there any fee in the world large enough to compensate me for the anguish, the heartaches, the misery, the loss of Jean's companionship? What amount did you have in mind?
You name the sum.
I'd have to figure. As I said, I went through a lot. Fears for Jean's safety. Mental disturbance.
But I haven't that much money. I haven't half, 1/4 of it. I couldn't even borrow that much. I've nothing to sell.
Nothing to sell?
Oh. You mean?
Books.
An exquisitely illuminated 15th century manuscript. The famous Gothic of Strasbourg. One of the rarest volumes in the Bernard collection. Who will start the bidding, gentlemen? The Strasbourg Gothic. Need I point out to you the rarity of this volume, the beauty of its miniatures? A first bid, my friends, a first bid. Come, come. You are in a treasure house. Reach out your hands. Anything you touch is a prize. I have an outside bid for 200 francs. Thank you, sir. Who will bid 250? Thank you, sir. 300? How about it? Much obliged. Who will bid 400 next?
400 francs wouldn't pay for a page of that manuscript.
450?
I had to go all the way to Italy to find that book.
I remember.
Good for you.
You got chilblains on that trip.
500?
Oh, that beautiful book.
No further bids?
That precious book. It's as if he was selling my heart, my liver.
I thought you hated every one of them.
I?
500?
I hate any of these darling books.
Didn't you always say books brought rats?
I?
Going?
Never.
Going at 500?
Well, a few rats, anyway.
Gone. And I'm ashamed of the prices these valuable books are bringing. And now, my friends, a gem. A book in the Carolingian minuscule. The forerunner of the humanistic form.
I don't think I want to see that book sold.
What do I use now to keep his neckties pressed?
I can't let him go through with this.
You can't stop it now.
You'll miss your books.
A burglar misses his tools even after he reforms. However, the one book I wanted most of my life isn't there. The rest can go.
Can I ever make up for them?
For all the books in all the libraries.
I'll try. Very hard.
Monsieur Mouche.
Mr. Bonnard. And there you are, you little rascal, frightening me to death. That wasn't very loving of you.
You're exactly one day too early. The auction isn't over. I haven't got the money yet.
Now, there's no hurry at all. I just wanted to tell you that I have here the necessary papers. Everything as you requested. Everything proper and legal. And something else, too. A letter from Mademoiselle Prepare, graciously giving her forgiveness. And I'm throwing that in for good measure.
I think it only fair to tell you that the books are not bringing the prices we expected.
What's that, monsieur?
We may be a little disappointed in the amount of money.
We made a bargain, a fair bargain. I intend to keep my end of it, and you will have to keep yours.
Well, go in there and see what's going on. Perhaps you can inspire them to bid more.
Oh, can't we do something? I don't want him to get the money.
Madame?
Mademoiselle.
To be sure. To be sure. Mademoiselle, is the auction still going on?
Yes, in the library. You'll find other scavengers there, too.
Ah, mademoiselle, I can appreciate how you feel. The spiritual value...
Wait. I know you now. A man's best friend is a library, cuckoo.
A good book. And cocoa.
I wish Henry hadn't stopped studying law. He'd do something about Moosh.
Monsieur Bernard, somebody to see you. An old friend in a new overcoat.
Forgive the intrusion, sir. I am that same Coco whom you once so generously befriended.
Oh, of course, of course. Monsieur Coco, how goes the world of books?
Oh, famously. Thanks to you, I was able to rent a little stall. Soon I enlarged it into a store. And now I'm an establishment.
Excellent.
And, monsieur, it turned out to be a Sylvester. A 9-pound Sylvester.
No.
Ah, Madame Coco is a woman for keeping her word.
Ah, cuckoo!
Coco.
Well, there's been an addition to my family, too. My daughter, sir.
Monsieur. Forgive me. This is not my gift. It comes from little Sylvester.
Oh, no, this wasn't necessary. Really, I don't deserve this. The Golden Legend.
The Golden Legend?
Wait till I tell Henry.
That old thing. I must say I expected something much handsomer.
My Golden Legend. Where did you find it?
Well, that's a very funny story. Ever since the day you put me on my feet, I wanted to do something in return. So I searched and searched for that book. I remembered our talk about it.
You searched. Bless you, so did I.
Ah, but you didn't search in the gutter. Do I make myself clear? We booksellers can't always be particular where we find our items. So I let it be known in shady quarters that I wanted the book. Well, there you have it.
But how?
A man came to me the other night. He had no idea of its value. You'd laugh if I told you the price I paid. Of course, he knew, and I knew, that we were dealing with stolen property.
Monsieur Bonnard! Things are going badly, very badly.
I'm afraid you're right. Well, what's to be done?
That is something for you to puzzle out. But I advise you to think hard.
Why, monsieur, what are you doing here? If it's about the Golden Legend, remember, our deal was final.
What Golden Legend? I'm afraid I don't understand.
Come, the book you sold me, man.
Monsieur, heaven is my witness,
The book's in your attic. The books Jean spoke about. Stolen from the Gabri Library.
Surely, you wouldn't accuse me of...
Monsieur, it is clear that you stole this book. Well, as one criminal to another, please give me those documents. All of them, hurry up. According to the decree of King Childebert and the capitulary of Charlemagne, you ought to go to jail. But we will let Madame Gabri decide that. And the Code Napoleon.
Oh...